I want a blessing too. Like, it's not fair. It's not fair. I went to do the hunting and my mom hates me. I'm pretty sure mom hates me. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Joel Reads Bible. I'm Joel and I'm reading the Bible. Every single word of the Bible. Every video is a chapter of the Bible. We've been hearing the story of Isaac. Well, his dad almost killed him, and he made it through that unscathed, more or less. He's not suffering from any PTSD from having his father stand over him with a knife. There's no mental health issues that I can see. He's got 2 kids. One of them is a hairy, red-faced monster who loves hunting. He is a source of grief. It's not just him, but his wife, Judith. I think he married Judith and Base Math. When he was 40 years old, he married Judith, daughter of Barry, and also Base Math, daughter of Elon. Okay, I didn't realize he married 2 women. As a man, you can be with a lot of different women. But no man, it's not good if another man takes your property, your wife. Sorry, I almost called your wife your property, just because it does seem like that sometimes. Let us move forward and see what happens next in these true, real, absolutely factual people's literal lives. Genesis chapter 27. When Isaac was old and his eyes were so weak that he could no longer see, he called for Esau, his older son, and said to him, "My son, here I am," he answered. Isaac said, "I am now an old man, and I don't know the day of my death. Now then, get your weapons, your quiver and bow, and go out to the open country to hunt some wild game for me. Prepare me the kind of tasty food I like, and bring it to me to eat, that I may give you my blessing before I die." We know from previous chapters, and this is the consistency of the Bible, that Isaac does like game. Like, he likes wild game. He really enjoys that kind of food. He actually really, really does love Esau. He was a fan. Rebecca, on the other hand, loves Jacob. And women, as much as they are, in a sense, property or men rule over them and that kind of thing, they do stuff. Like, they make moves. Eve, who also made a move, was wrong. Sarah, who made a move, was wrong. The whole Hagar thing was just a nightmare. We'll see, though, here if Rebecca is wrong or right in her behavior. Now, Rebekah was listening as Isaac spoke to his son Esau. When Esau left for the open country to hunt game and bring it back, Rebekah said to her son Jacob, "Look, I overheard your father say to your brother Esau, 'Bring me some game and prepare me some tasty food to eat, so that I may give you my blessing in presence of the Lord before I die. Now, my son, listen carefully and do what I tell you.'" She's in charge. Now, I loved Rebecca. I thought she was fantastic. I thought that she was kind and, watering the camels and all those things. She was a very giving, loving person. But now I'm seeing that she's a little bit more, she's doing a scheme. She has a plot afoot. "Go out to the flock and bring me 2 choice young goats, so I can prepare some tasty food for your father, just the way he likes it." But he likes wild game. How are you going to get the same flavors and things off of a goat that isn't wild? Oh, man. "Then take it to your father to eat, so that he may give you his blessing before he dies." This is the trick. Jacob said to Rebekah, "But my brother Esau is a hairy man, and I'm a man with smooth skin. What if my father touches me? I would appear to be tricking him and would bring down a curse on myself rather than a blessing." The lying won't bring down a curse. We've had plenty of lying. Lying is fine. But getting caught is a problem. If you get caught, well, you're not a good liar, and you haven't come up with a good enough plan to trick someone. His mother said to him, "My son, let the curse fall on me, Just do what I say and go and get them for me. Is that how that's going to work? Isaac's going to be like, all right, you're cursed, Jacob. And Rebecca's going to be like, okay, maybe I'll be the one that is true for, but then he's still fine. Also, what is this curse? Because in this book, by the way, if you'll remember, a man can curse another man. Like you don't need supernatural powers to do curses. Anyone can curse anyone. I could see Isaac cursing Jacob, but then I don't know how a woman goes, all right, I'm just going to say the curse goes to me. Like, what? But if the curse is more of a Isaac going, you're not getting my money, then Rebecca would be like, well, why don't I not get your money? It'll be, you were never getting my money. You're my property. What are you talking about? It's going to Esau. Anyway, he's the firstborn anyway, so he's the one that should get it. But you'll remember in previous chapters, Jacob has already tricked Esau, or at least, I don't want to say swindled, but he got the birthright from Esau for some red stew. So he went and got them and brought them to his mother, and she prepared some tasty food just the way his father liked it. Then Rebekah took the best clothes of Esau, her older son, which she had in the house. It's like they've got to, she had them in the house. She already had them in the house. Why wouldn't she? They all live together, you'd think. And she put them on her younger son, Jacob. She also covered his hands and the smooth part of his neck with the goat skins. Smart. I mean, that's a lot. That's like thick hair. I don't know if Esau had like hair that's that thick. But maybe if you're blind and you don't feel very well, you're like, oh, is this how hairy Esau's been this whole time? That's like goat hair has got to be different than human hair, but whatever. Then she handed her son Jacob the tasty food and the bread she had made. He went to his father and said, "My father." "Yes, my son," he answered. "Who is it?" So now Isaac does not recognize his son's voice unless he was putting on Esau's voice. But Jacob said to his father, "I am Esau, your firstborn." Remember me? Esau, I'm your... If you don't remember who I am, let me remind you with, I'm your firstborn. We were twins, but I was born like 30 seconds before the other one. Anyway, that guy's a real jerk. I don't even like Jacob very much. "I have done as you told me. Please sit up and eat some of my game so that you may give me your blessing." This game, however, may taste like just normal goats from farm. It might not have that gamey flavor that people seem to like, the gamey part of it. Isaac asked his son, "How did you find it so quickly, my son?" Uh-oh. They didn't think to well, I guess you got to do it before Esau comes back. So they only have a smaller window of time. "The Lord your God gave me success," he replied. It's interesting that the Lord is your God, not yet Jacob/Esau's God. Then Isaac said to Jacob, "Come near so I can touch you, my son, to know whether you really are my son Esau or not." So maybe he's getting a little bit like, you don't sound like Esau. You sound a little like Jacob. You don't sound that hairy. Your voice is certainly different, because dads usually can recognize their sons' voices. I think as a fictional narrative, it seems a little bit like it's very simply written, like it's a simple person who wrote it. It doesn't really make entire sense, because why would they have that type of conversation? It's very leading, you know what I mean? It's all just like on the nose. It's like, "Who are you? I am Esau, your firstborn." It's like, so as a fiction, it's bad writing. As a literal telling of a true story, it's insane. Jacob went close to his father Isaac, who touched him and said, "The voice is the voice of Jacob. Good man, you know your son's voice." And Jacob didn't even try to hide it? Is he that dumb? "But the hands are the hands of Esau." But he did not recognize him, for his hands were hairy like those of his brother Esau. So he blessed him. "Are you really my son Esau?" he asked. "I am," he replied. This is Isaac being very, very lackadaisical with evidence, really. He's just like, well, you saying your Esau is good enough for me. I'm feeling the hair. You don't sound anything like Esau. You sound like Jacob. I guess I'll trust you. Then he said, my son, bring me some of your game to eat, that I may give you my blessing. So feed me first, blessing after. Jacob brought it to him, and he ate. And he brought some wine, and he drank. Then his father Isaac said to him, come here, my son, and kiss me. Very intimate. I guess in the moment, didn't notice that the stew did not taste as gamey as it probably should have. That wasn't part of the evidence. But Isaac, at this point, he's blind, he's old. He probably doesn't even have very strong taste buds. He went to him and kissed him. When Isaac caught the smell of his clothes, he blessed him and said, ah, the smell of my son is like the smell of a field that the Lord has blessed. May God give you of heaven's dew and of earth's richness, an abundance of grain and new wine. May nations serve you and peoples bow down to you. Be Lord over your brothers, and may the sons of your mother bow down to you. May those who curse you be cursed, and those who bless you be blessed. It's just so interesting that Isaac was onto them. He looked for evidence. He's like, you don't sound like him. You feel like him. You smell like him. He didn't mention the stew, but he was probably like, that doesn't taste right. It tastes a little bit off. Yet he's like, based on the evidence before me, I will have to say, here's your blessing. I'm just worried that this is the critical thinking that the Bible thinks is good enough. This is kind of the advertisement for the level of inspection you should be doing when you're looking at things. You just be like, good enough, I guess. I guess this makes sense. All right, here's the blessing. 3 out of 5 points are in your favor, so good enough. I do feel as though you're not the right guy, but all right, here we go. After Isaac finished blessing him, and Jacob had scarcely left his father's presence, his brother Esau came in from hunting. He too prepared some tasty food and brought it to his father. Then he said to him, my father, sit up and eat some of my game, so that you may give me your blessing. His father Isaac asked him, who the fuck are you? He goes, who are you? I am your son, he answered, your firstborn Esau. Isaac trembled violently and said, who was it then that hunted game and brought it to me? I ate it just before you came, and I blessed him. And indeed, he will be blessed. Because if you say something as a person in this time, that is it. That is gospel. You can say that you will be blessed, and then they are blessed. And you can't take that back. When you say blessings, bam, done. If I were to walk out the street and bless you will be very prosperous in your life. And then the person goes off, and I'm like, I don't know. I wanted the other guy to be prosperous. It's like, you only get one prosperous. I don't know if he gets more than one blessing. When Esau heard his father's words, he burst out with a loud and bitter cry and said to his father, bless me too, my father. Is there room for more than one blessing? But he said, your brother came deceitfully and took your blessing. There's only one time that I can say those words that are a blessing. I only have the supernatural blessing powers for one person. I can't be blessing everyone all the time. I can't do more than one blessing. That's the rules of this narrative. Only one. Currently, I think we don't have any blessing power. I don't know if anybody out there in any church anywhere is like, yeah, no, I can bless one person once in a lifetime. Does it have to be a son? Maybe it has to be a parent. Like my dad's never been like, all right, we'll do the blessing for one of you, and I can only bless one. I mean, the blessing is nations will bow down to you and stuff. I mean, this isn't small stuff. This isn't like you get the grand piano. This is like this is huge. May nations serve you. Those who curse you will be cursed. Those who bless you will be blessed. Like, this is some massive stuff. Esau said, "Isn't he rightly named Jacob? He has deceived me these 2 times. He took my birthright, and now he has taken my blessing." He did not deceive you for your birthright, Esau. Like, I'm not necessarily team Jacob. I don't think these people are on the up and up. I really don't. But you should have just gone and grabbed a crust of bread, had that, relaxed for a second. You weren't dying, and then don't give your birthright. Then he asked, "Haven't you reserved any blessing for me?" Isaac answered Esau, "I have made him lord over you, and have made all his relatives his servants, and I have sustained him with grain and new wine. So what can I possibly do for you, my son?" So it sounds like the blessing, that the words that are the blessing that are really nice come along with Isaac also giving him a bunch of actual stuff. When he says, "May God give you of heaven's dew and earth's richness and abundance of grain and new wine," he's actually saying, "I'm going to give you those things and you'll get it. And then I won't really have anything more to give. So hopefully you're Esau." Esau said to his father, "Do you have only one blessing, my father?" That's what we'd all like to know. "Bless me too, my father." Then Esau wept aloud. "Why can't I get blessed? Why is he the only one that gets blessed? I want a blessing too. Like, it's not fair. It's not fair. I went to do the hunting and my mom hates me. I'm pretty sure mom hates me." Then his father Isaac answered him, "Your dwelling will be away from the earth's richness, away from the dew of heaven above. You will live by the sword, and you will serve your brother. But when you grow restless, you will throw his yoke from off your neck." I mean, Genesis is here, if nothing else, to set up the Hebrews to be against maybe not the rest of the world, but it sounds like the rest of the known world. Esau held a grudge against Jacob because of the blessings his father had given him. He said to himself, "The days of mourning for my father are near. Then I will kill my brother Jacob." This is what you do with brothers. I'm surprised I haven't killed any of my brothers because, this is what you do. This is the whole thing with brothers. Kill them. Just kill them. When Rebekah was told what her older son Esau had said, she sent for her younger son Jacob and said to him, "Your brother Esau is consoling himself with the thought of killing you. Now then, my son, do what I say. Flee at once to my brother Laban in Haran. Stay with him for a while until your brother's fury subsides, until he calms down, I don't think that his anger is going to last that long. I mean, it's not like you stole his birthright. It's not like you took all the stuff from it's not like you stole his whole inheritance. It's not like you completely ruined his life. When your brother is no longer angry with you and forgets what you did to him." What did he do to me again? Oh, yeah. This is the reason why everyone hates me. And this is the reason why I have to live by the sword. Oh, right. I forgot that. "I'll send word for you to come back from there. Why should I lose both of you in one day?" Then Rebekah said to Isaac, "I'm disgusted with living because of these Hittite women. If Jacob takes a wife from among the women of this land, from Hittite women like these, my life will not be worth living." Drama! What a way to end that chapter. There's been a few cliffhangers, but what? I love that, Rebekah, not the greatest person. I mean, everyone's a liar. Everyone's a liar in this book. Constant lies. from the good guys. Then Rebecca's like, at the end of the chapter, after she deceives her husband, after she screws over her firstborn son, she's like, by the way, I'm also a racist. I effing hate these Hittite women. Ugh. Oh my goodness. If Jacob marries one of these, Hittite women, my life will not be worth living. They disgust me. I'm disgusted with them. Why? Well, they're Hittites. Yeah, but what are they doing that's so disgusting? They're Hittites. What? What more do you need? They're not us. They're not Hebrews. They're Hittites. Anyway, we'll see how the racism continues in chapter 28. But if you're curious to know how all this, I just said Noah, how all of this pans out, keep watching. Subscribe to the channel. Also, how do you guys feel about these characters? Do you think that Rebecca did something wrong? Do you think that what Rebecca did was right because we're Jacob fans? Are you team Jacob? Do you think he should have won? Whenever I see these people lose, like Esau and Abimelech and Ishmael, whenever I see these people lose, I feel bad for them because they don't seem like bad people. They actually seem like they're doing their best and they're actually quite decent. But then the heroes of the story, and this is like the story that God wants, like this is the way that God wants it to be done. This is God's will maybe or something. That's what you hear, but we'll see what happens in the future books. Maybe it'll be explained to us in some sort of coherent way, but these other characters feel like victims. They feel like they're getting screwed over left, right, and center. So we'll see what happens in the next chapter going forward. Again, subscribe, ring that bell, and we'll see you next time.